suave. Suena el bongo.
Pops and the Rican.
Hazme un tumbao, que el ritmo lo pongo yo.
Pops and the Pops and Pops
Look at this. Pops and the Rican. The Pops and the Rican. What's the Pops and the Rican?
Look at the top of his head. Look at this head.
Pops and the Rican.
Pops and Pops and Pops.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling now.
Okay.
So,
All right, now we rolling.
right.
Well, hey everybody! It's this is the Pops and the Rican show.
Yep.
And,
Okay.
I'm Steve Rivera, the Rican, and
I
obviously
think
the
that
Pops.
makes me Pops. I'm not sure.
Yes.
They tell me that anyway. But
Yes, yes.
So we're in for a treat today.
Yeah.
And mostly because we get to talk about Chicago pizza.
Oh man, so you're jump right into
And,
Chicago pizza. I know. I'm from
Okay.
That's why we're here, isn't it? So, are you Gino's, Nancy's Pizza? What? No, I'm just kidding. Let's
Chicago. Yeah.
Steve introduce our guest today.
All right, so we have Smitty B.
That's right.
And Erica Clark, who are fantastic comedians that actually showed up at Joker's last night. Right? So you guys were there,
Amazing
and
show
heard
last
that was
night.
a great show.
Yes.
How was that? How did it work out?
You know what? It was my first time there. Actually, it was both our first times. And crowd was good. You know, we just went up there, had fun, rocked out for the night. Apparently, I was going too long. He was like, "You was up there forever."
Yeah, you were. You got the light 3 times.
Somebody in the back, like,
Right, yes.
the spotlight.
Right. Like,
Because
you know what that means.
when
you are
you,
not
when you
new.
but so when you killing, sometimes he was like, "Oh yeah, let's do
Right.
40." I was like, "All right, cool." But I felt like I got the light at 20. I was like, I must be doing bad.
Did you?
And then
You hear how he tried to slip me when you killing? It just seems like you hear that shameless plug.
yeah, that's how you. I mean, when you killing, you know, you be up there for 2 days and don't even know it.
You know you've gone a little bit long though when you start throwing flashlights at you.
You
Right. Or the DJ just said like music.
Become like the
I
Sandman.
had to look at my watch a couple times. I was like, "No, that ain't
Pull 'em
40."
off.
Yeah, he got off. Yeah, was that 40? Yes, it was more than 40. It was 50.
Hey, I was in the neighborhood,
Right.
you know.
Right. I mean, at least I hit it. I was trying to make sure I was there. You know how you
Right.
Exactly.
get off, you pump fake to get off. I'm gonna say this last thing and I'm gonna
Right. Yeah, you could.
If you're paying me for 40, I don't want to walk off after
Right.
10. I mean that's
Right.
that's cheap.
go. Making sure you got 40.
I'm just giving you bonus money. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Exactly. That's how I was doing.
I'm a giver like that. So,
Nice.
so go ahead.
So it's your first time. It was your first time at Joker's,
Yes.
right? So where are you guys from? Where are you originally? What's your?
I'm from the south
home
side of
base?
Chicago.
Okay.
That's the home base. Now I live in the West Loop.
Okay.
Because I'm better than Stan where I was. Where I grew up at.
Well,
Whatever, I'm saying it. Sometimes you gotta say that to yourself. You gotta say, you know what, you don't have to do this no more.
better than the South Side of Chicago.
Not necessarily the south side. So I grew up in the hundreds. You know, I
That
grew
is,
up in
that is the, yeah. what
that,
do
I
you
mean, that's the south side, but I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm better than the whole south side because
You're
there
better
are
than the
parts
hundreds.
on the
Right,
south
right.
side that I'm like, they don't really want me here.
Right,
Like
right.
Obama's block,
Yeah, that's South
they
Side.
come and say, hey, no.
South Loop. You got it wrong. Yeah, keep
Right,
moving.
right.
You don't have no reason to be here, so we can look at you and tell.
we're here to check your passport.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you ask him questions first? You talked to him for like 3 minutes, and you just waving me through. Yeah, no, he might be from here. You keep going. So, yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, I moved from there. I was like, you know, I'm gonna get away from here. I ain't got time for this.
I am from the North Shore of Chicago, like the northern suburbs.
Oh, we got some Chi-Town. I'm from Chicago too, so
Where are you
I'm
from?
inside. So I was on Ashland and Division.
Okay. All right. I
I'm
used to
right
live-
by there, though. I'm just south of there. I'm like,
I used to
Okay.
live on Black Hawk and man, what was my address? I don't even remember. Yeah, right off of like by North Avenue in Ashland. It's not too far from.
Man, okay,
Yes.
cool.
In a
Right
former
behind that
life,
tire shop.
Okay.
and in a former life, I spent a little time living there in Chicago.
Yes.
Okay.
Where'd you live at? in
Right.
Chicago?
Well, it was like I say, it was a former life. I was with the Salvation Army, and so they have their college for officers training,
Okay.
which is on Addison, right by Halstead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a great place for a Christian organization to have their training
In
center.
Boys Town. Okay.
Right. I wasn't gonna say it.
Right. I was like in the heart of okay.
In the heart of Boys Town.
Yeah.
They gonna station them Christians there.
Center of Boys Town.
Y'all standing outside, whatever you're doing is wrong, sir.
Right.
All wrong, sir.
I loved it when my parents came to visit, and they're like, "Well, take us and show us around." I was like, "No, you really don't."
Right.
Want
Let's go a little bit south and north of
I understand, the tolerance level and that, but you're old people and you're not going to have the same
Right,
level.
yeah.
of
I'm
tolerance.
not into that. Why does he have his hands in his pockets? He's robbing him.
Right.
He's robbing that man.
Right.
Someone should call the police. No, they don't do that here.
No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just look
It's a
away.
hate crime if you do that here.
Right.
The best part for me was that I was just a few blocks away from Wrigley, and
Right.
and so I didn't get a whole lot of work done during baseball season. 'Cause
Right.
I should probably go see a game, and
And it was walking distance, and you like in that nugget, you don't have to go too far for anything, so you don't really
Right.
need a car.
Right.
So you was in a good spot.
Yeah.
I could jump on the L and be any place pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
So
All the
yeah, it was
buses.
nice in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, we could sit here and talk Chicago pizza, but that's not why we gathered.
Right.
Okay.
But as an old fat man, I don't mind talking pizza,
Yeah,
pizza or
me
coffee.
neither.
Right.
I'll talk either one. I don't know.
Okay.
So
So
pizza all day.
so do you both have you been kind of working the same club there in Chicago? How'd you guys start to connect so that because I know on the ticket you're headlining.
Oh.
And, on the ticket. I don't know. I really don't know because I didn't know.
I didn't know none of the information. Also, apparently,
I thought I was hosting yesterday, and then
that's what I
Well,
told.
after he did 140 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
man,
I know.
of course. Yeah.
Right.
So what happened was so you know how when you had the initial conversation about coming to do whatever club, something always changes. He was like, yeah, so I'm thinking Erica a host, and I never even mentioned that part. So yesterday, she was like, so how's this going? I know we late, whatever happens, we good. And I was like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
hosting, so
Right. I was thinking like, okay, we're a
Can't
couple
be
minutes
late.
late, every fine, because I'm featuring. No, you hosting. I'm like, fuck.
Because that was the information
hate
I was
hosting.
getting.
Hosting is not fun.
The funny thing is when
Right.
when he brought it up, I was like, yeah, Erica hosts like a mother.
No, yeah, I can. I hate it though, because you can't. It's
throw her under
it's
the bus.
fun
Might
to
as well.
right. It's fun to go up there and do your thing. Then it's fun to like sit back and hosts can never do that.
Right. that's
You
true.
gotta
You
run to the
keep it
bathroom. You gotta
running.
run back. You
Yeah.
gotta make sure it's about to get off. You gotta keep.
Unless, of course, you introduce somebody. Hey, he's going to do 20 minutes. I have
Right.
I have time to go to the bathroom.
Right,
And then he goes up and does 140.
Right, yeah, you're
and you
right.
can
Like,
go
all
to the
right.
bathroom, have a steak,
Right, yeah,
do your
order
nails.
something.
But here's the problem: you don't know when I'm gonna come out. 'Cause
Right,
now you gotta
yeah.
stand by this motherfucker.
Right, yeah. You keep being like,
told
wait
you
a
he was
minute.
gonna
yo.
do.
Right, yeah. I do. I hate hosting. I hate hosting so much. So I was happy not to be hosting. But how do we get started? Or how do we meet each other?
Yeah.
Or how do we?
Where'd you guys meet? And
I
how
used-
and are you doing shows? Quite a bit of shows together now? Or?
Not really. Well, we met because at first I started at improv. I started at Improv Olympic in Chicago, and I was on a team there. And I started to hate improv a lot. Oh God, I hate improv so much. Now I'm back interested in it, but I hated it. And so I did a random open mic at a club on the South Side called Jokes and Notes. And I really liked. I did stand up. I did not do too well my first time because I thought most open mics are like a bar, and
Yeah.
Jokes and Notes is a full club that was sold out for open mic night.
Wow.
So I kept thinking like, is there a show after the open mic? Like these people can't be here for an open mic, and they made me go first. Because I was late.
Right.
And late for the sign up. They're like, okay, yeah, but you're going first. And I had one joke And yeah, so I did okay, but somebody asked me to do another to do a show, like, oh, we need a girl for a show. And so I ended up doing a stand-up show. I still had my one joke. I did like a 5-minute set, but then they gave me like $10. And I remember like, oh my God, I can get paid for comedy. Because I've been doing improv and they do not pay you. It's supposed to be for the love of fucking comedy. Like, no, like I pay all these classes in IO and never got. So I remember being like, okay, and I quit my team and just started doing stand-up. But so I met Smitty B at Jokes and Notes probably the first time or the second time I ever went to Jokes and Notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is Jokes and Notes, is that you call that your home club or?
Well, not anymore.
Closed.
Well,
They definitely closed it down. But I would have said,
at that point it was kind of okay.
Yeah.
Now it would be Laugh Factory for me.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so me personally, I actually didn't start at Jokes and Notes. I started at a club in Waukegan called Just Joking.
Come on, with Sonya B.
Sonya D, yeah.
Sonya D,
Yeah, so I started at Sonya D's club just because I missed open. So Wednesday was Jokes and Notes open mic, and I had missed that. And somebody had booked me for a show, had never even seen me. I was at work, and somebody was like, "This dude funny. You should put him on your show." He was like, "All right, come through and do the show." And I was like, okay, so let me try out some of these jokes I've been saying at the job.
Right.
And I missed Jokes and Notes open mic, so I drove to Waukegan and got on that stage, and I murdered that night.
See how you talk about himself?
Murdered. No. It's gonna. It's the bomb is coming.
Okay.
So the show that I watched, the first show I murdered, right? So now I'm up here, I'm like, I'm dope. I've been meant to do this because I do this.
Right.
Get to that show. Now, if you hear ask Marlon to tell you the story, because Marlon was hosting, and they put me up. Dollar Bill was the DJ, and when I tell you, I was doing terrible. That audience was not for that. They was like,
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's like the worst thing. Not a courtesy laugh, just a stare.
Nothing.
Right.
Like you
So,
speaking of
no
total.
love
the
at
back
all.
started booming.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing so bad. I was like, oh my God, I quit comedy. I think I might have committed suicide that night also.
See?
And I did bad. Like,
I think the worst I ever did was at Outriggers. Was you there when I was at Outriggers?
I don't remember nobody bombing at Outriggers.
Oh, shit, me. I bombed. After I did the open mic a couple times at Jokes Notes, Mary, who owned Jokes Notes, booked me for my first weekend. And so it was going to be my first, like, paid weekend as a feature. And it was for Tony Schofield, who was a radio DJ. And the weekend ended up falling on, like, the worst blizzard in Chicago history. It was, like, that February 1st when we got, like, 27 inches of snow. Remember that?
No, I wasn't there because I did it. That same night I had a show. I produced a show at J Bistro in Evergreen Park.
Oh, and you canceled.
No. It was packed.
See, ours was fine. But here's the thing. So she booked me in November. And so it's for February 1st and February 2nd. So I remember that. So I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'm good. I'm great. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to chill, for 4 months. And I don't have to do it, right? So
Who does that?
that's a dumb bitch because my mom was like, "Don't you
I
think?"
got a tight 5. I can wait.
Right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, you need 15.
Right. And so I thought, I got that one joke. I can pull it out to 15 minutes. And my mom said, don't you think you need to practice at least once? And so I remember this date. It was January 4th. And I went to this place called Outriggers, which is the south suburbs of Chicago. And I'm like, I'm just going to test out. I asked the person running the room, can I do a little bit longer? So, whatever. And so I did my one joke that I had seasoned, and that takes about 3 minutes, and that worked. Then I tried to, bullshit for the remaining 12 minutes, and that was going so terribly. Then I stepped on the cord of the microphone, and it came out, and then it slithered off the stage, and then I'm like, excuse me, I could bend over my shirt, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. Right, yeah, and everybody just like, I'm like, nobody helping me, I'm trying to put it back in. I did it right at a punchline, like, and I don't understand. Oh, hold on. Okay, like,
Gotta win them back now.
I was bent over, my crack was out and everything. I'm like, oh man, some girl, she need to pull her pants up. And I'm like, oh man. Okay, so So then I said, I'm like, damn, I did so bad that I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do badly for these shows. But I was scared to get back on stage. And then, so I had my first weekend. I did terrible my first weekend. I could, like, because I had bombed the month before, I never got back on stage. I did terrible.
But didn't give up the booking.
See?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that money.
And my friend videotaped it because I was like, I'm gonna videotape and put it on, internet, blow up right quick. And she taped all 4 shows, and they was like, you know what, you can go ahead and delete all of that. It was so
You got a little
bad.
delete button on it. Let me see
It
it.
was so bad. And
See, those are the shows that if somebody said, "Hey, can you shoot this for me?" I'll be like, "Sure," and then they're like, "Go ahead and delete that." Oh yeah, I deleted it, but I kept the copy back here so that
Right.
Already
so that
done.
when they do actually blow up, then I'm bringing it out going.
Like,
you remember this
I'm
one?
sure give me the, yeah.
I need some money.
I thought I told you to
Or-
delete that. I never did.
Right.
Exactly.
I used to be, I don't know about you, but I know people say this a lot, new comics. I can be dirty, but I was extremely dirty. I thought like just being shocking. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I didn't make a joke. I would just say dirty thing. It was like when you did jokes, it's like either you had a really smart, intelligent crowd, or sometimes you have like a ghetto ass crowd, and
Right.
you can be super dirty maybe with a ghetto ass crowd. But you got people who sit there and they dressed up,
They got
and
a
they want
degree.
Right.
They
They
got a
gotta look at
degree.
you like-
They want a good
Right.
joke with it,
I
set
wanna
up a
think
punchline,
about
and
pussy
I'm
joke.
like, so that dude was eating my pussy, and they just like, they was making Elsa, yeah. And I'm like, damn, it's like performing at your fucking Thanksgiving holiday. Like, yeah, I was like, ooh, y'all
Is
just look
this-
like my aunts and uncles.
Is this comedy or is
Right.
is it a therapy
Right,
session
yeah,
word. Spoken word.
for this sex addict?
right.
I don't know.
Right, I was like, oh man, yeah. I was like, oh, some stuff I was like,
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm just looking at these women looking at me, and I was like, man, I
The
need
good
to-
thing about bombing, and I told Liz this yesterday. So the good and the bad thing about bombing is if they boo, you can leave.
You could just be like, I'm done.
Be like, "Who boo? You suck! Get off the stage!"
Right.
Thank you. That's my time.
Right.
But if
Oh,
they just stare,
silent, oh,
if they're just doing this, you
Just
have
waiting.
to stay.
Exactly. You can't.
If you got 10 minutes, you got to do the whole 10. They just
you get that dry mouth and you
Oh
start.
man! Well, see, my first time when I jumped on the stage was my buddy asked me. Actually, my friend Brent Stackhouse, he's out in Waukegan too as well.
I know Brent. Yeah.
Okay, so we would do
He did
shows
a-
up in there.
Okay.
up
Were you in the
Waukegan.
improv group?
Yeah. So
Okay.
The
Okay.
BS Comedy Crew was the one
Okay.
that we started. So we did that sketch comedy, and then we were doing stand up, and we did a small little tour called "You Don't Know My Story."
Okay.
And so
So I tell everybody it's BS, Brent and Steve, or Steve
Or that's what you gonna get?
or Steve is full of BS.
Right, right,
That's all I'm
exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
One of the two. I'm
Right.
not sure.
So he asked me to do a banquet, a family reunion.
Okay.
And I didn't have no jokes written out at all.
Right.
And the only time we were just basically, riffing. So he would go, bro, you gotta get up, you gotta do the show. Now this is his family.
Oh no.
So I got up in there, man, and I didn't have one joke. And as soon as I dropped this one joke about, I didn't even know, it was about this guy who came. He was a cable guy, and he was Spanish, so he didn't know too much English. So he was talking to me. He was like, oh yeah, I go over there and I put it together. And then I was like, dude, how did you get this job? Because you don't have any technical understanding at all. He was just like, but I put it together, it's okay. So that was my joke.
Okay.
And so I'm talking about this guy who has no idea what he's doing, and everybody was just like, they didn't even boo. They were just like, why is he up there? Why
Right,
is he-"
yeah.
What the
They
And,
looking
look,
at
and
each
they all
other.
looking at Brent like,
Right,
you
yeah.
brought this mug here?
Yeah, right,
What's
yeah, you
wrong
just
with you?
said-
Bro, not even 2 minutes in, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Right, yeah.
Thanks for having me, Brent.
Right.
And I left out of that bank hall.
You got to. You can't stick
I
around
had
with
to
the bomb.
jump into traffic. I was like, no, I can't ever
Bomb
do this again.
walk is so
Yes.
horrible.
So
Those
talk
post-bomb thoughts, you be like, damn, what the
Man,
fuck am I
but
doing?
it's terrible. That's why I've
Yeah,
always hated.
hurts.
I hate to this day doing a show with a large amount of comics in the crowd that I know, because I don't invite family to shows. I do, like, I tell them to show. If they come, they come. They don't, they don't. I don't like bombing in front of people I know, because if I bomb, I want to walk out
And just get the car
Just
going.
walk out Uber.
Go back.
I know you can't even
People
flag
gotta
down
stop.
the Uber.
Hey,
Look,
listen, let me holler at you for a
I
second.
request you when I'm in your car. I just need to
Talk
get the
about
fuck
this
out of
later.
here.
Yeah.
You know what you
That
should have
hurts.
did? Shut up.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I don't do? I
Everybody
don't
has some.
do. I guess I say private shows like family reunions,
Yeah, I
birthdays.
don't do that.
I don't do
Gang
none of that.
meetings.
Don't call me for no
Right.
private event.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you know the family, but you.
No, I'm not doing no birthdays, no baby showers, no home christenings, no
Right.
nothing. I'm not doing none of it because it's so. What happens is there's no set demographic like at a club.
Right.
So you got 2 to 98,
Right.
and everybody wants to
everybody-
laugh, but everybody
Exactly.
wants something different.
Right.
I know I'm not doing it,
How do you? Yeah. So how do you
Like-
create material that's gonna be able to?
and it
For
won't.
all
It
reasons.
won't.
It's
It
really
won't.
hard.
Like that joke was technically funny, but
Yeah.
they refused to laugh
Right,
at it.
right.
Right.
It's,
'cause I was
it's
like,
hard to write a good joke about SpongeBob SquarePants, Metamucil, and Geritol,
Right.
and make it work for
And then
everybody in the
the
room.
older the person is, like old folks,
Yeah.
they feel like you don't have the right to be doing what they idols are doing. Like I used to, my grandmother
Richard Pryor
was
was a funny
really bad at that. No matter what I was doing, I would get in trouble because I wasn't a famous person. She'd get in this house, sucking on them bitches' necks. You ain't Bela Lugosi.
Right,
Who the
like,
fuck is Bela Lugosi?
Right.
He played Dracula. Get in this goddamn house. Why am I in trouble because I'm not famous? So,
Exactly. I've ever done. I'm trying to think. I don't even think I've ever done a private show.
don't.
They sound terrible. I did a banquet.
It's horrible because I did one for the Lions Club, and they had a booth, they had a stand, and the mic was taped to. I couldn't grab the mic. I did my set off
It's
the
standing
booth,
As if,
like I was like,
as if you were running for office.
bro, exactly. I was like, okay, this
It's
is
a little
messed
difficult
up,
carrying that booth around.
Right.
Scooch it over to the left.
did
Hold on one
do-
second. I got this one joke. Hold on.
I did do. That's right. I just remember. I did a show this summer. Did I tell you about this?
No.
When I called Johnny, I did a show. I did a show at Second City because Second City has stand up every once in a while randomly, right? So I did a show. I want to say maybe in February. A man emailed me, and he was just like, "Hi, my name is Arthur Gallagher, and I was at the show, you know, whatever. My daughter works at Second City. She gave me tickets. I thought you were really funny. My company, first of all, he owns, you know where the Cubs, where they built up all that new shit?
The
around
new-
the
yeah,
Cubs?
yeah.
He owns that. It's called Gallagher Way or whatever. Super rich dude.
Is that a block?
I mean,
Yeah, the whole block. It
no,
says
he's-
Gallagher Way. All the new buildings, right? So he insurance dude or whatever. Huge. So I googled huge Trump supporter, huge Republican, and he goes, "We have a monthly get together. I think it'd be really funny if you came to the monthly get together. I'll just say you're our new hire. You know what I'm saying? You
Oh.
joke with the dudes a little bit. Yes, and you joke with the
Yeah.
guys a little bit, and then you know." You get to know him a little bit, and then you get up and you roast him for a good 10, 20 minutes. I was like,
what?
I was like, I don't really want to do that. So he's just like, I'll pay you $2,500 or whatever. It's in August. He called me in June or May, like late May, early June. And I was like, and he's like,
still
I,
2,500. You can't help but to put it on the
Still.
books.
and then he's like,
Just say-
I'll send out the check to you tomorrow. So I'm just like, must not remember that I was black because he about to send me the check tomorrow for a show in late August. So I
All
take
of
this-
it.
I take this check and be like, hello. So I was like, like the whole summer I was thinking about the show, like, oh man. So I went to the monthly outing. It's like, oh my God, when I tell you, it's maybe like 30 white guys, super Republicans, super Trump supporters. Fine. Very nice people. Very nice. But I'm like, I feel sick to my stomach. I had to like roast these. I don't know. I was just like, that doesn't
How
feel
do you-
comfortable
yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
But it, does,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
doesn't work
Right.
if the crowd,
Yes.
the crowd doesn't know,
Right.
or they don't
Why
come
are
in
they
with that
here?
expectation.
They
Oh,
didn't
Somebody's
know.
gonna be
Oh,
roasted.
That's
it's gonna,
what
somebody's
what
gonna get
was
roasted.
making
It's gonna be
nervous.
comedy. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna
So-
laugh. I'm gonna have a good time.
Right,
And-
but they
and-
thought it's their monthly outing
Yeah.
after their happy holiday or a happy hour thing, and So I called my friend to come with me. She's like a Puerto Rican girl. She's a stand-up comedian. She was doing Uber, so I'm like, can you please come? I feel so uncomfortable. So the dudes is like, oh, that's great. We'll just say we got 2 new diverse employees. Diversity. Great. It was great. Is she Mexican? And I'm like, no. I'm like, she's Puerto Rican. Now close enough. They
close
just
enough.
love
Close
the
enough.
thought, right? So maybe we do that for like an hour, and then we go up on a podium, and the man is telling me all this stuff to roast the people about, like, well, that's Dale.Ale's wife left him, you know, and I'm like,
got you cutting below the belt.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't,
Just burn him real good.
right, yeah. He's like,
Toast him up.
This guy is a racist.
Right, yeah, and I'm like, that's what he's saying. And I was just like, so I'm on stage, I'm like, oh, okay, Dale, how you doing since the breakup? And everyone's like, ooh, like, look, and I was just like, I'm like, let me, yeah. I was like, oh my God. And then Johnny's trying to like say, oh, it was so terrible.
That's horrible.
And then, yeah, this is like, we did 10 minutes, we got off stage, and then they were like, oh, you know, you guys, good. You guys should really try, you know, keep working at this comedy thing. And I'm like, I'm better than this. I'm better.
That's a conversation you don't want to hear.
That's really good. You should try, I don't know, working the French fry machine.
Right,
at
I know.
McDonald's,
I know.
you know?
Like, this is, hey, you guys did not see the best of me. Please come to an actual show. Yeah,
That's the other reason why I don't do private shows.
Right.
Is because when you show up, they have an idea of what they want you. All right, this is what we want you to do, right?
Right.
Right.
We want you to just go around, roast folks, and
when-
fight them. What? I don't feel safe doing this.
We're not really paying you for comedy. We're just paying you so that
Right, to say stuff that we can't
so
say to
that
each other.
the
Say something
racists
I
in
can't
our
say.
company
Right.
can beat the crap out of
Right,
you. Pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You should have told me that.
Right.
See, I spent.
They gave Johnny $1,500. I was just like, now I worried the whole summer. Johnny came and stood next to me on the podium, and y'all gave her $1,500.
Oh, we didn't kick you down, did we?
Right.
Give me the checkbook.
Right. I know. I was just like, well, this was easy. And they were very friendly, though.
Well, I have spent in the 20 plus years I've been doing comedy. Most of my income came from corporate events,
Okay.
and I will tell you that early on, if the guy that was giving me
Yeah.
$2,500 said, "We'd really like you to do this," I'm like, "Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll do my best with that."
Sure.
Right.
But early on, I started realizing, okay, that's not working
Okay.
in
Right.
any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
You know, and there were a number of times when they're like, okay, we're doing this kind of as a gift to our employees. We're bringing in some entertainment.
Right.
And so we're not telling them, we're going to introduce you as the new HR
Right.
consultant.
That's what they were doing. That's what
and,
they did. The new
and so I was
director
like,
of sales.
oh, okay, I'll try that. And then you get up there and you're trying to get them won over to your side, and they're like, no, we're not having it.
Right.
And so I just can't. I got to the place when somebody would call and they'd say, you know, this is what we want. I'd say,
Right.
okay,
And then
I know in your mind that's what you want.
Right.
But if you truly are wanting to do something for your employees or for the company, I'm going to strongly encourage you not to spend your money and hold on to that idea.
Right.
But to walk in and say, look, we want to have fun as a company. We have hired a comedian, and we want you all to come and laugh. So they come in prepared to laugh.
Right.
Right.
And then
It's
you
smooth.
go in and
Right.
you do your show because they're primed and
No.
ready for it.
Yeah.
You go in and do your show,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
they walk away thrilled.
Right.
But when you
When you try
try
to be
to
like, "I'm director
accomplish
of sales."
their little dream of what they
Yeah.
think might be good,
There's a certain way you got to position comedy, and they don't know that.
Yeah.
So what happened was somebody was like, "Oh, you should do what we did. We got a comic, and we paid him to act like he was a new employee." And then
Right, yeah, like, no.
Yeah.
you
I
can't just
did,
have anybody do that.
My
It just
friend
happened
does
to work.
surprise murder mysteries, right? Which, oh my god. So I did a couple shows with him. So it'd be like the same thing where you go to, he would play the comedian, right? He is a comedian. He played the comedian, and another guy would play his agent, and another girl would play his wife, right? So I would sit in the car the whole time, because girl plays mistress. I'm his wife. I'm sitting in the car. So they'd go around the whole time. They'd have dinner, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He'd go up there and do some stand-up. It's great. The crowd still doesn't know they're in a murder mystery. I come in, who the fuck is this bitch? You're cheating on me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I get all mad, and he's, oh, get out of here. They push me out. He drinks some water, drops dead. And it's supposed to be like, guess who killed the comedian? Was it the mistress? Was it the wife? You know, whatever, right? Every time, the show never worked. To the point where they had to switch me and make me the mistress. Because every time I came into the room and be like, who the fuck is this bitch? Are you cheating on me? They'd be like, ma'am, get out. Get out. Who are you? Who are you? And I'm like, I'm not that good of an actress. The dude called 911 and I'm like, fuck. We were like, hey, stop. This is a show. Right, acting. We were in Madison, Wisconsin, and I came in there and I was just like, who? Because the head of the murder mystery said, we film it sometimes to show the other corporates who don't swear this time. Like, don't swear. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I told you this one. I came in, I'm like, who the hell is this? I can't believe this. Ma'am, 911. We have an uninvited guest. And I was like, fuck.
In our murder mystery game.
I was like, oh no. And like, we're like, oh,
It's a good
shit.
thing you got her
Then the
incarcerated
police
already
came.
because she's the one who did the murdering.
Right, I know. The police came and I'm like, oh God. So we had to
I actually
explain
worked
to him,
there,
this is
sir.
the police came, the guy called 911 and I'm like, fuck, we're acting. So yeah, the people in the murder mystery is like, we're gonna change it. So Erica, you're the mistress, and then the white girl comes in and starts yelling at you.
Because no one ever
obviously
calls the
people
police on the white girl.
Right, people feel real agitated when
They
you
be
come
like,
in the room. And the guy's like, you don't have an invite, you don't work in this company. Hello? We have a trespasser. I was like, fuck. I'm like looking at my friend, and he's like,
So the first time they did it that way, that somebody still called 911.
right.
This,
An interracial couple.
this mistress over here is just trying to tear this family apart. We gotta do something about that.
Yes, pop-up shows, no. But yeah, the murder mysteries, yeah, they were
Hilarious.
well paying, but not worth it.
That reminds me of the first time I went to an escape room. I didn't know.
Fun.
Yeah, they are when you know what's going on. So like the one we went to, I didn't know there was like a real theme to it, like everybody. So they put us in the room. It was a group. I didn't know none of these people, just me and my girl,
Right.
and 6 other people, 7 actually. They turn the lights off. Lights come back on. One of them are dead.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit! Immediately.
Not again!
Why does this keep happening? Right?
Immediately, I figured only one of us was gonna make it out, so I started strangling.
You so stupid. Like I'm staying with her. Like, are we killing? Is that what we do? We're supposed to
They
strike?
came in, sir, all of this is fake. This guy's still alive. I was like, hey, you gotta give me a run there.
Y'all don't even know.
The escape rooms. Yeah.
I
they
thought this
get
was one of those
me,
movies.
Oh, I thought you said this was the killing room. It's an escape room. I'm
You're supposed
sorry.
to figure out how to get out. I said, hey,
I got this one.
Have you ever done one of the escape rooms?
No.
They start to make you they make you a little agitated. Have you ever done them before?
No.
Like you start getting a little like I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like I am.
All right.
And then they have a man. Did you room have a man on the chain? Do you have that?
so you did the one with the zombie,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the chain
so
kept getting longer.
Yes. So in our room there was a zombie man who was attached to a chain, and if he touched you, you were dead. So you're trying to figure out this clue like. George Washington did, and it'd be like, man, this fucking zombie comes out like, chasing you around the room. If he touches you, I know you're against the wall.
Catching hands.
Like, please get away from me. I tripped and fell and everything. So you're dead, yeah. So you're out the game. So it makes it harder because it's like more people are out the game. It's just 2 people have to figure out the clues. But
Yeah, we lost
much
ours.
pressure.
He was like, oh
Oh,
man,
you
you was so.
lost it?
I mean, we definitely
Yeah.
lost that because
Oh, we got
I
out.
murdered somebody. And
We got out.
I just took my belt off. And was like,
Right, yeah.
fuck out of
We got out. Yeah. We got out of that goddamn room.
Now, the beauty of events like that is it kind of just writes comedy for you.
Right. You
know,
definitely got
where
the story to tell.
You gotta. The older you get, like me, you gotta stop right in the middle. Okay, I know this is kind of a thing, but I gotta
Right.
make some notes.
I gotta write this down.
I gotta write this down, or I will forget.
Well,
So.
you date your lady, and it's like you got something going on. You're like, okay, you're not smart enough, so I'm gonna have to, drop you as soon as I get out of here.
You gotta let your girl know. Like I text notes. I'd be like,
See, the thing is, I've gotten better with it. Because have you ever written notes and then you look at it and you're like, what the fuck was I talking about? Like, I didn't write enough.
Yes.
Right.
Because I had, and this is so dumb. I remember I was writing down notes and I had bitch falling down the steps. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I remembered my guy friend has a girl dog. And like she was all excited to see him, and she fell down the steps, and she fell down the steps like a drunk bitch, and then we started laughing because she technically is a drunk bitch. Well, she wasn't drunk, but I wrote bitch fell down. It's like stuff like that. I used to do it all the time where I just write 2 or 3 words, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. I know I was laughing hard at it, and I hate when I do it. So I've gotten better.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Then we can jump right into exactly how do you record what you do? Like, do you record it on your phone? Is it a voice recording? Do you write it really quick on a note, on a napkin?
So this is gonna be fucked up. And I write jokes the most when I'm driving. Okay. And I probably should use a voice recorder.
Right.
But I would be in there like,
oh no,
knees and everything. I gotta write it. And I never think to pull over. I'll be like, somebody gonna die for this joke. I know it's gonna be fucking hilarious.
And it's rush hour in Chicago where you're driving 3 miles an hour, then you're driving 70 miles an hour.
Right. Cuts you off. You're like, oh.
Then you come to a complete stop, then you're driving 90, and then you're driving 3.
And so what people probably don't, and definitely the police won't understand this, as a comic, that new joke is so important to you that you'll risk everybody on this freeway.
Right. You got to keep
everybody's life is on the line.
Everything. Just you gotta.
You need to get this down.
Get this right.
Where do you get your jokes from?
It's everything. Like, so when I'm in the car, so sometimes I proactively write jokes, and I'll say, all right, I need to write something about this topic, and and I'll put in place some best practices. So I'll say, all right, the consensus is this, so I'm gonna go the other way, or I'll say, let me find something that nobody is talking about in that. Other than that, I'll write jokes about every experience that I have, just so I'm not talking about the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
So like this hotel, that shit that just happened upstairs, I'm writing that down.
Oh,
so I'm talking about that tonight.
Yeah.
So I text her, say, they in the bar waiting on you. Mm-hmm. So I go to the room, change my shirt, come downstairs. I get a knock on the door. I think it's her. I haven't gotten my shirt on all the way, so I just go open the door and just turn around and walk away. So the lady's like, do you need servicing, sir? I was like, absolutely. And it was 2 of them. I was like,
bonus!
This is how they do it? Definitely, yes, I need something. Let me get this shirt back the fuck off.
Right.
She was like, do you need room service? I said, no, I'm taking the first offer that was on the table. This room is y'all when I leave.
Yeah, I'd like to be booked on a monthly show here.
Right. Hey,
if I could get once a month here, the amenities that you provide are amazing. I don't know no other club that's doing this.
So then it's basically your experiences when you that's what inspired.
That's
you
the
to start
springboard.
writing, right? That's what
Okay. So like my Uber joke, of course no one got murdered.
Right.
But
right. It's an exaggerated version.
It gave me the premise because I took an Uber pool. And those people, you don't ever want to be the type of people that are in a pool.
Right.
Are not the people you want to meet.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck around getting no pool as
right.
an educated adult.
Right. I usually write. I don't know. I usually write from experiences, but sometimes I feel like I lead like 2 or 3 different lives, because I'm a teacher, and then I grew up in the North Shore. I'm on like the South Side and stuff. I look at the newspaper a lot. I look at stuff what people are tweeting about. I never take like a Twitter joke if somebody has a joke on Twitter. Right. But I'll look at topics that are like not trending. I never look at stuff that's trending, but stuff that's been like retweeted or somebody's talking about, or if somebody got like Bow Wow got beat up by his girlfriend.
Right.
I'm not going to take the Bow Wow. Oh, did you see the video that they put out?
I didn't
them in the elevator.
I
you gotta watch that.
So now I would have had to say that she was Ray Rice. I couldn't have.
No, you gotta see the video. They got him in the elevator. TMZ got him in the elevator. So she's standing there, and she got the keys. I guess she's literally saying, "I'm about to leave," and he grab her hand and take the keys out of her hand. So she just standing there and he getting her face like, you fucking bitch. He's screaming at her. She just standing, he take his coat off, like about to punch her or whatever. Then they go outside of the elevator, you know, apparently she
Beat the
across
fuck out
his
of
face. But like if I'm gonna talk about that, I will take other elements
Right.
from that. Like I think Bow Wow is not where he wants to be in life. He's also very short.
Right.
Yeah. I think like you know what I'm saying. I don't want to talk necessarily about Bow Wow. I talk about like what I think about that situation. I hate situations where now you beating me because you don't have no album sales. Like that's not making shit go. Like I'm gonna talk
This is
about
not
what
gonna
I
sell
think
records
the
for you.
real stuff
Right.
is about,
Right.
or
Yeah.
like instead of
That's a good angle.
Well, I remember
yeah.
when the Ray Rice thing was
Yeah.
was all over the place. First of all, you may not have noticed, but I am a white guy.
Right.
I thought he was gonna say I played professional.
Right.
ball.
I know.
No, you're done.
Well, I did play a little football too. No, but so there are certain things that you got to be smart enough to know. Okay, I can't make certain things funny no matter how hard I try.
Right.
So I look at it and I say, okay, what out of that can I use? And so much like you're
Right, yeah,
saying
like-
and saying, okay, I'm going to do something with this.
Right.
And so I actually for a brief period of time I had a little bit that I did about is an elevator really the best place to start an argument?
Right. Yeah. Like that's
Right.
what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
you-
Then I can because
right.
then you can get like then Jay-Z and
Different
Solange
angles. Yeah.
shit
Right.
happens and then
Everything's happening.
And-
right. Yeah. You're like it's
The elevator is probably the worst place.
right.
Depending on how many floors are on that building.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did we
How
fight?
did you start?
17 floors.
This is,
Goddamn.
this is gonna
You
be
start
like
on
a 98th
98th floor and you still got 30
Right. You
floors to go
tired
to
and shit
fight
for
over.
6 years. And
I feel like we should
breathe.
continue fighting because we have 34
And the worst
floors.
part is, if you're the guy getting on the elevator in the middle of an
Oh my
argument,
God, that'd
Right.
be
then
hilarious.
you don't know all the pre-stories.
Right,
You don't know,
yeah.
you don't know which side
don't know
you
who's
don't know which
right or
side
wrong.
you should be on.
Right. Smell
You
that
know,
adrenaline in
how am I
there.
supposed to know? Should I take
Right.
up? Should I take up her side?
Right, yeah.
Or should
You shouldn't
or
have
is-
said anything.
Is it
Right.
him? You
The
know?
just
funny
turn
thing
around,
is
you
the
fuck up,
couple
lady.
that see it and don't get on. They're like, you should help her. No, you don't know. It's two sides to that story.
Right.
I've been there with you. It's two sides to that story.
I'm gonna stand over here looking like that audience that was looking at you.
Right, yeah. Like, do you ever feel like you have to? I don't know, but if you, I sometimes feel like as a black woman, I feel like it's sometimes because I normally do. I know you know this. I have a different view on a lot of stuff. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what? Sometimes I feel like I take the different viewpoint of it all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Just to make it interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that
So
makes sense.
I'll take the non
Popular.
right. So
Like when I was at Laugh Factory, it was like 4 or 5 girls talking about like, oh, they're so sick of guys in Hollywood and we need to cancel whatever. I was like, I'm listening to R. Kelly every fucking day. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, and that's not even necessarily true, but I am listening. You fucking tell
so
me.
now
who the fuck.
with a topic like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
I
am
feel like
playing
I
that
can't
shit.
speak on that unless
Right.
I have an angle to speak on it. So to give you an example, so if I was to speak on R. Kelly,
Right.
I would bring R. Kelly up and springboard him into
something else.
abducted in plain sight
I
to
see
that
that too.
Robert, because he fucked both parents to get to the daughter.
Oh my God! Please don't ruin it for me.
This it's
Oh, sorry, my bad.
mind blown. So like first he fucks the mother. He starts courting the mother,
Okay.
and of course she's married.
Right. Oh snap!
Spoiler alert.
That's all good.
Right.
Just keep going, it's all
So of course she's married, and so they kiss a little bit, make out.
Yeah,
Oh no,
messing
it's
it up
gonna
for
get way. You trust me.
Don't tell me. Don't ruin it for me.
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you this part.
Okay.
But the stuff way after that,
Right.
oh my God, you're gonna
Worse.
this motherfucker is way worse than R. Kelly. So then he seduces the father into a hand job. This big man got in the car, gave you a reach around.
What you right?
He was committed to this little girl. He was like, yeah, this little girl is the girl that I've been waiting on. And when she got 16, he was like, well, I'm gonna get out in the streets and get another looker. So it was weird, and we all here talking about R. Kelly. If you see this documentary,
Then you like, this is some other shit.
the city is split on R. Kelly so much so that it's just, for me, taking one side or the other won't do my comedy justice.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
get
Just
what
like
you're
Bill
saying.
Cosby.
Right. It's
Taking
not
one
going
side or the
to-
other.
Right. It's just gonna.
It's gonna always be repetitive.
Anytime that you run the chance of an audience splitting, whether it's 50-50 or
Right.
any
Right.
split,
Right.
you're,
Now, if it was
you're
another-
potentially going to alienate a
But
portion
see-
of your audience. Why would you intentionally go in to do that?
See, I
Right.
had
with no
Because it's
Unless
it's
I-
only
that
two
goes
sides.
right.
yeah,
but
with
the-
no
see,
mechanism
the
to win
thing
them
is-
back.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
funny because you know who Joe McMahon is, right? Joe McMahon has a joke about voting for Donald Trump. Once he always started saying, round of applause who voted for Donald Trump. No one does. It's like, 65 million votes, but nobody in here voted for him. Okay, fine. And he's like, I voted for Donald Trump, whatever. It's always dead silent. And he says, I'm just kidding. I'm not allowed to vote. I'm a registered sex offender. I'm not even a stand-up. He said, I'm not even a stand-up comedian.
That's
I just moved to this neighborhood, and this is the easiest way for me to tell 200 people that I moved. It is so funny. I've never heard somebody but he always addressed, like how you said, it's always going to be a split. He's not.
Right.
I'm going with, because he's from Florida, I'm going with there's a strong possibility
He's a sex
that
offender.
not that he's a sex offender.
In Florida.
He actually might have drank from the Kool-Aid and voted for Trump. But he's able to make it into such a ridiculous joke that you're able to just forget about it. But what he says is true. You could say that he said that at the Chicago Theater, he said it at whatever. No one claps for it. Some of you fucking, somebody in here vote. Now you just, the world has made you be like,
I didn't vote for him.
Right.
You voted.
Right.
So in that scenario, it's one or the other. And you have to, as a comic, if you want to do your comedy justice, you have to find
the fine line.
the other. So what I did with Bow Wow, instead of talking about whether I was for him or against him, I talked about what he did wrong to get those results. I said, first off, Bow Wow isn't 6 feet, so
You shouldn't be talking about that.
you should be
Outside
your,
your neck.
your your conflict resolution should be much better.
Right, yeah.
But you need to attack.
Eye to eye. That's
Right,
no problem.
yeah. You have to look
Women
at
don't respect
somebody
you if they can see you like this.
Right. Or they look down at you. What are you saying?
So
there? It's always
that's
gonna
when I got into, you need to grab her and just start laying your problems on her.
Oh, yeah.
And then it ain't even got to be serious problems, bitch. Lemons that went up to 87 cents a pound. The McRib don't come back until next year. How do they keep getting this wig on Samuel L. Jackson in these movies? She's like, oh my God, he's under so much pressure and she can never hit you.
Right.
So you got to find that in the joke. So
Yeah.
when I talk about voting in that election, I'm saying I ain't voting for neither one of them.
Right.
There's a section that says write in.
Right.
I voted for
Right.
The Rock.
Right. But you know what's
Dwayne The Rock
crazy?
Johnson.
I don't know if this is a
I
problem.
vote for that.
Not a
Yeah,
problem.
come on, everybody vote for The Rock.
See, because you at Laugh Factory, I'm going to say Laugh Factory, north side of Chicago is a very liberal area.
Okay.
And then you have very liberal comics now. And it gets to the point of where people are preaching and doing less comedy. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying.
They want to
where-
make they want to make some social commentary.
yeah, they're
Laugh,
making
yeah, I
social,
got you.
and
They
it's,
wanna
it's
And then
like,
they're pandering.
yeah,
I
and
don't
it's
like
like,
it.
man,
Yeah.
and I am so mad that Hillary, what did Russ Williams, there's another comic who said something, because everyone always, especially, 2017, Hillary should have won, and she done so much better than this
Won't
orange
clap,
Cheeto,
sir.
whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Russ Williamson went up there and he said, I would never want Hillary Clinton to be president because she dressed like a maitre d' on a spaceship. And I'm like, I can't get that thought. He said, these double-breasted pantsuits, and she looks like, how many are in your party, sir? And I'm like, she does dress like a maitre d', a hostess. And I'm like, I can't get that thought. But
you have to be
it's
that.
so refreshing.
Yeah.
It was just refreshing to hear not necessarily, and I know, you know what I'm saying, just another side of it. Like, I'm so
Right, so
tired
it's
of like this,
Right,
like,
it's not specifically like the exact like politics or anything like that.
right, it's just that
what's
I
around
ground,
it.
yes, it's like,
Yeah,
I am tired of
and-
hearing how great this person is.
Yeah.
Tell me something bad about this
It lets me
Or-
know that your range of thought, you know what I'm saying? So you knew coming to stage after the election, you knew that you had to talk about this subject.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to add this dimension to your comedy.
Like, I do political.
But you
But
didn't add enough dimension to it.
Right,
You was
and then
like,
it's
all
just
right, I
like,
got to talk
yeah,
about it.
then
Am
it
I
became-
for it or against it?
Right.
Don't talk about either one of those.
Right, yeah, but then
Okay.
everybody.
What else is there?
Yeah, everybody's come. Yeah, and what they call it, clapter now, where people are not really laughing; they're clapping.
They're
Right,
much-
and I hate those.
That's
comments.
that's a great. That is a great.
And people
point.
pander just for those
It's
claps.
time for us to have a woman president. Yeah.
Like if I was an artist, shut the fuck up and tell some jokes.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am not at a speech.
And that's why I say I hate certain comics because they don't take enough risk on stage.
Yeah.
Pops in the Rican.
Suena el bongo. Hazme un tumbao.
Pops in the Rican.
Pops and the Rican.
The Pops in the Rican.
Look at this dude.
Pops in the Rican.
Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.